Can I mention your eye?
Hey, no, hey.
Say
Well,
your Hey,
hey,
we got to
where?
pretend like we hear some music because I don't have the music today. Hey, it's another what?
It's another Friday, baby.
It's another Friday,
Yeah, we made it.
Friday. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay,
All right,
you're trying
all
to say.
right. Woo! So that's funny because I was in the sauna
Uh-huh.
and I was singing, and then somebody walked
Left.
in right in the middle while I was
Whoa.
right
Oh,
belling
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And then she looked, and I was like, I know I can't sing, but I said, but this is a jam. I can't even remember what the song was. So welcome everyone. Welcome to another Friday with Jason and myself.
Yes,
It has been
welcome.
Yes, it has been a very busy week. We are extremely busy and extremely happy
Yes.
and extremely grateful.
Yes, we are.
So life is wonderful. We did release a podcast on Wednesday for you guys to go listen to. It was one of our greatest and best episodes. It was 109, Is Your Marriage What You Expected? So if you have not heard it, go and listen to it. So sometimes we get so busy that we don't have time to do what we need to do to release the episode that we intended to release because we didn't edit it.
Yep, that's all. It's okay.
So, but that was one of our best ones that we have a lot of downloads on. So we picked that one because that was really a good episode to listen to. So again, if you haven't listened to, go listen to it. So tonight, what are we talking about, Jason?
We're going to talk about dating, babe.
Dating.
Well,
but we're married.
Right, but dating after marriage. You know, that's what
What?
happens.
Dating, is that like
After-
an open relationship?
No. You better. No, baby.
Right, gotta clarify, right?
You're dating your spouse.
Dating your spouse.
That's a good
dating
one, though.
Your
I like
spouse,
that. I
right?
like that.
See, dating
I-
after
I
marriage.
see
People
where
like,
you're going.
no wonder they happy. They
Yeah.
dating after marriage.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but I'm not going there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
No, continual dating. Dating after you get married, because you know how we do it. We date, we do all these wonderful things, and then after we get married, we just stop with the dating. We stop with the courting, we stop with all of that stuff, you know.
So before we get into that, we do want to let you guys know that, you know, during our episodes, our podcasts, and then on our Fridays, we mentioned the course that was coming out, and we have been, very busy bees, anxiously awaiting
Yes.
the release of our program. And so we are extremely happy to say that we have finished and we have officially launched our program. And so it is available, but there's only a limited amount of spaces.
Yep.
Right. So there's only a limited amount of spots. So we have been really trying to make sure we can accommodate everyone. So again, our program has come out. It's called where's my cues, Jason? Because I definitely don't want to get it wrong. So
it's called Elevate Your Marriage.
So our extraordinary program that we have been working on for over a year, 2 years, over
I know,
2
right?
years,
It's been
yeah,
a labor of
right,
love.
yeah. So
Goodness.
it is Elevate Your Marriage, and it is a transformational relationship literacy program.
Yes.
And so what we do is we take you, people, all of you wonderful people out there, the typical, basically happy couple like
Right.
we are, right? That sometimes find themselves after 5 years or more in that doldrum type of relationship, right? So we find ourselves stagnant. We find ourselves, the relationship is kind of stale. The feelings are getting lost, right? We feel a little disconnection,
No,
right?
And no passion, declining intimacy, all of those different things, or sex, you might not even have that, or you're just becoming roommates.
Right. So you're still happy, you still love your mate, but the relationship like it used to be, right? That passion, that love, that excitement, that feeling we get, right? It gets lost in the routine. So lots of times, and this is going to take us into what we're talking about tonight about dating your spouse.
Right.
So what happens is that we fall into this everyday routine, right? Whether we're married or we're not married. But unfortunately, when we're not married, we can afford to do it because it's just us.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so when you get married, life, if you're not leading it, if you're not in the driver's seat and you're not very intentional about it, these things will happen. You will get disconnection. You will get into, the routine, the rut.
And a rut of life.
Right,
Yes.
right. So you see each other, but, you occasionally have sex, or
You're just
you're
not
not
connected.
having
You're just
yeah
not
you're not
connected
having
at all.
the amount
You're
of
just- you're
intimacy
just
that
to-
you had in the beginning,
Right, you're together, but you're not really together. You're in the same space, but you're not in the same space. So you just
or you're just mentally checked out because
right,
of whatever's
right. But
going
you don't
on
even
around
realize
you.
that you're mentally checked
Right,
out. Right,
right.
You think you're still committed to the marriage, and you think you're still involved in the relationship, but really you're not. You're just really just there.
So you're there, but you're still committed. So let's
okay,
just-
right.
so-
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're committed.
But right, so
Right.
so to get them, so basically your relationship gets stale, right? So we all get stale, right? Bread gets stale. We talked about that last week, right?
Yes.
Bread gets stale.
So you
But-
comparing me to bread.
Not you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what in our program is what we do is we help to alleviate that, right? We give you tools and techniques, and we work, with the group setting and one-on-one, and we're available, and we do the coaching and the counseling and the, so we're able to work with our clients, whereas we're taking their relationship from that point to whereas it's stale
Yes.
and boring, into the type of relationship where you're rekindling your mental and
Your intimate connection.
right. So you're reconnecting.
Yes.
Right. You're feeling alive again.
Yes.
You're getting to know one another. You're growing together. You're becoming closer. You're gaining more intimacy. Right. You're gaining more
back some
trust
trust.
and the
Yes.
love in your relationship. Right. So you're finally you're getting back where you were in the beginning.
Yes.
Where I hope all couples
We start out there.
Right,
That's a good
right.
starting point.
And
right.
that's why, like you said, we're going to go into tonight about dating, because that's where it all starts from. That's where it all stems from. And so a lot of tonight is going to be about dating and the communication and other things. But so our program is ultimately to help couples feel the love and respect and the appreciation and feel secure and happy in the marriage that they have right now. Right? Get the desire back. Get your mate back. The person who you began dating and you fell in love with, and somehow, some way, we let the everyday life
Yes.
kind of disconnect us, or we drifted apart.
That's
right? And it's so easy to do. And that's why we have that narrative that you can't be happily married, because we get married and we let the marriage machine drive itself, and we don't jump back into the driver's seat. So when we're dating, we have intentions of what we want, right? And then we get married, we don't realize that there's things that we really need to do to continue on every day, every month, every year.
Yeah, because life
basis.
happens, babe.
Yeah.
I mean, life happens, and then, we just get busy, and then we just don't continue down
And
that
then we
path.
don't even realize.
Right.
So we're agonizing for more connection, for more intimacy, and we don't know how to get it. So
Right.
we're thinking that this is all there is to the relationship.
This is what marriage must be.
Right. So Jason and I have decided that we're going to be divorce busters.
All right,
So
baby.
not only are we changing marriages, but we're helping people take their marriage from where they are to where they want it to be. The marriage that you desire, the marriage that you deserve, the marriage that you can have.
Right. And if you don't know the roadmap right now, don't worry about that. We'll plan all that out. We'll get you on the right track, and we'll help you to understand what you actually want to see in your marriage and bring that into fruition.
And lots of marriages dissipate and break up because they feel as though they've lost the love, right? Or they've lost the passion, or they don't, like, we just don't communicate. All those things are false, right? Those are cop-outs.
Right.
We don't have to have that marriage where we're not communicating,
Right.
where we're not in love, where we're not connected. We can have that marriage. So we are really, really, really excited that our program has finally come out, and it's Elevate Your Marriage, right? Everybody wants to elevate. Nobody wants to. If you want to stay the same, this is not the channel for you.
Right.
All right? Because Jason and I are all about elevation,
That's
whether
right.
it's our relationship, whether it's with ourselves, whether it's whatever, right? In our family, in our community, it's all about elevation. It's always about, what can I do better? How can I show up better so that I can help other people rise to the occasion, right?
It's in a group setting. It's group coaching once a week, lifetime access. So if it's for you, you can.
So what Jason means by lifetime access is that all the people, the spots that are filled for these individuals that go into the program now, whenever our program is updated or changed or added to, you get lifetime access.
Right.
So it doesn't matter
If you come in,
if the price goes up. It
Right.
doesn't matter if we add 18 more things to it, if we add some more free coaching to it, you get all of that. So
Right.
we are really, really, really excited. We've had a lot of help with it, and we've really poured our heart into it. And so we are excited.
We're gonna
Yes.
make some transformations here. You're gonna.
It's
we're
about
gonna transform.
transforming your marriage,
sure.
transforming your relationship.
Yep.
And part of that is because you're going to transform yourself. We are going to stop doing the things that cause our marriages to disconnect, to break up, to lose that connection, right? We're going to stop doing those things because we know that we've gotten to this sacred, bond because this is where we want to be. And we want to feel that connection and that love and that respect and that desire all the time. And so we're going to have it now until death do us part. And so that's our goal. If we can help it, we are going to be divorce busters because there's no need for divorce if you know how to make your marriage work. All right?
That's right. Hey, Vicky, how's it
Oh,
going?
Vicky's back. Hey,
Yay.
Vicky.
We missed you, Vicky.
Is the hubby with you tonight?
Yeah, Earl there with you.
So we're going to wait for her
Yeah,
to
right.
respond. So we do want you guys to give feedback with us tonight. And so we do apologize because we didn't advertise as much as we normally do about our Fridays.
That's right. But you should know by now
You
that
should know.
Friday is our day.
Yes, every Friday, if we can help it, every Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be here live with you. So we did not get normally our ads out like we normally do. And we
What'd you say? Oh, ads.
ads.
Oh, okay.
Ads. No, we didn't get our post out. And
That's okay, but we're
to let
here.
you know, right? So we're here. You
Right.
guys should know that every Friday that we're here. So Vicky says yes, he is here.
Hey, Earl, welcome. I
And
love
what does
that.
it say after that?
We miss you too. Yeah, miss
Yes.
you guys as
Welcome,
well.
welcome back, guys.
You know what's funny? I love that. I love that because, Vicky and Earl shows up all the time, and they're always contributing to it. And
Yes,
this
to
is
the
what-
conversation.
This is what makes your relationship better. And you know what? This is what helps other couples, and that's why
Yes.
the group coaching program works so well because that's what goes on inside of the Facebook group.
Right. So we are not only giving you the program, but we're building a community of couples that can really share because marriage is a difficult thing. It's like anything, right?
Right.
And
I'll
sometimes
say it takes work.
Sometimes you can't
takes
Google
work.
the problems that you're having and get a solution to it.
Well-
right? Everybody says Google University.
Right.
So if you're having a certain issue, you may not want the advice from everybody.
You know what? You can Google and get the answer that you want, and that's the problem. You get the answer that you want. Once you Google the other side and see what answers you get for that as well. So if you say, I want to know how to keep my marriage happy, it'll bring up only the things that'll keep your marriage happy. Then you might Google what makes a marriage fall apart. That's totally different answers that you get. So it all depends on what you're Googling, and we normally Google for the things that we're looking for, but flip it to the other side. as well.
Or the thing is that we don't know what we're looking for.
Exactly.
Right. So
I'm just
as
saying,
we
you
stated
can-
before, happiness, intimacy, right? Connection is
Yep.
all different for different people.
Exactly.
And that's what we must understand. Being able to get to know the person, the couple, their relationship, and what they're both looking for. So, but let's go into tonight's conversation.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to put that out there. That's why we've been extremely busy. We're extremely happy, and we can't, wait, to get it started.
Right.
So, right now we're just in the process of filling up those spots and making sure that when we start that we can try to accommodate everybody as possible. So we're talking about dating, and now I know we've talked about before that date night is important, right? We always talk about date night, right? But date night in itself, if it's done wrong, can become routine.
I don't want date night to be a routine where it's
Date
like,
night can be you.
I'm
So
like,
you
we-
have
we're
those
going out
couples,
again, we're going to dinner again, we're going to do the same old routine every single time.
and
that's
then it
putting
gets
stress
to
on-
be, doldrum. It gets to be
Yeah.
boring. It gets to be, oh yeah, we got date night on Friday because she always want to go out or he wants to go out or why do we, like I'm not even enjoying myself. So
Right.
if we're not careful, so again, we're hearing these buzzwords, date night, but date night in itself, if you just do it to do it, can become a routine.
And you know what
Can
happens when you
become
have
boring,
routines?
can become
Yes.
stale. So we have to be careful with that. And so what we mean by we have to continually date our mate is that what are the things why did you want to date your mate? So for you guys who are listening, type me in an answer. Why did you date your husband or your mate? Why did you date them? So give me an answer. I want to hear something. Why did you date them, right? So dating to me was a time for Jason and I to get to know each other. And what happens when you spend time with someone and you get to know them? What happens?
You fall in love with them. I mean, you want to know more. You want to spend more time with them. And that's what happens.
And when you spend more time with someone,
you get closer to that person.
and so you become connected.
Yes.
That connection that you felt in the beginning, is this person who I'm looking for? So you want to know, what are their likes? What are their dislikes?
Yep.
What type of food do they eat? What was their background? Were they raised in a two-family home or two-parent home?
Two family? I don't know. That's a little different.
It could be.
Yeah, I know. I know
I've,
it could. Yep,
I've definitely
I know.
witnessed it. So was it, did they have two parents? Did they have one parent? Like, where did they go to school? Where did, what is their job? Like, everything about them intrigues you
Right.
because you want to know them. And you want to know them because you want to know them on a more intimate level.
Yes.
So that intimacy creates a connection. And that's why so jumping in and out, we talk about be careful who you talk to outside of your marriage, right?
Yeah.
Especially of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Because now you're creating a connection, a bond, and connections create intimacy.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes people say, well, we just happened to fall in
No, we
love
didn't
or whatever,
happen.
right?
We didn't
But that's
happen.
a whole different
Right.
story. But what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying is that,
emotional. That's emotional.
so what we're saying is that the same thing you were seeking from your mate is the same thing you should continue to seek. Why? Because we change, right?
Oh,
We
so
talked about
that's
that.
why we have to continually date, because we do change. What I liked back then, some 30 years ago, is not what I like now.
May not be, right?
Right. And I'm not the same person, right?
Right, exactly.
So we have to
You don't-
continue to learn each other.
So we change according to our situations,
Yes.
our circumstances,
Children, it's just everything. Jobs,
everything,
just
everything.
knowledge. The more knowledge and
Yes,
education you get,
yes.
the more you grow.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Some
Well, you know
people-
what? Either you get it from a educational institution or you get it from life. But you're going to learn something as you go through life.
Let's hope some people
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
right?
they do.
Let's hope we're elevating.
Yes.
Right? Let's hope we're elevating.
Yeah.
So what happens is that situation 10 years ago that threatened our relationship, if we didn't deal with it, and now we're interacting in a different way, it has continually evolved to something different. So my mate, whatever that happened then, that changed him. That either changed their thoughts, their actions, their reactions, that changed their patterns, that changed something within them. And the mate that I had 10 years ago is now a different mate, right? Or as Jason said, we change because we're living. Every day we're living, so we're changing, right? Something is always thrown into the mix. So if we don't continue to date and find out and talk to our mate, how are we going to stay connected? How am I going to know the person that I'm married to now? I won't. I will assume, right? So most of the time, and we know what people say about assumptions, right? Assuming.
Yep.
Most of the time, we think we know everything there is to know about our mate,
Well, we did at one time. At that particular time,
right?
right? We knew a lot. We knew that person. We knew their color. We knew their likes and dislikes. But as we grow,
And as we
things
change.
change, right? And sometimes it's sooner than others. I mean, like my colors and things that I like are basically still the same, but yours change more often than mine.
And
I
that's
have
why
to
you
learn
have
that.
to continually
I have
know,
to.
because I'm continually changing. And it's because you're supposed to change. If you stay the same, then you're not living, you're not growing, you're not moving, right? You're stagnant.
That's right.
And so it's the same thing in our relationships. If we're not growing, we're becoming stagnant. What is the purpose of having a life mate if we're stagnant? If we're not moving, if we're not growing, if we're not experiencing
what
the
you're
love
saying
in the
is,
beginning.
You didn't get married to sit around the house and watch TV all the time and really do nothing.
No, I may have. I may have. Look, I may have. It depends on how we change. Because
After the dating stage, you didn't do that. I mean, you stayed out a lot. You know, you were always running the street. Well, I won't say running the street, but
when
we're
you say
always
okay,
going
so first
somewhere.
of all, you say you. So you let's talk to the audience so they're not confused as to who we're talking about. So are you talking about me in general?
Sure, why not? I'll
Okay.
use us as an example.
Okay, let's use us as an example.
You did not get married, or we did not get married
Okay.
to sit in the house and really do nothing all the time, right? Because we were busy before. We went out a lot. We explored a lot. We traveled a lot. We did a lot of things. Once we got married, we did not get married to just sit in the house and watch TV and really do nothing.
Or we did not get married with the assumption that the other person was going to do that, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. So using this as an example, it could have been a very shitty, and I'm just going to be honest, it could have been a very shitty marriage if Jason and I were always together, always traveling, always doing things. And then once we got married, he was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do. I don't want to have. Could you imagine the strain and the stress that would put on a relationship?
Sure.
Thank God that we didn't do that. But the point is that our marriages change because we change, because our circumstances change, because our conditions, our environment, our education, right? Family size change, income changes,
Yep.
right? So we have to adapt. And if we're not dating our spouse, which means we're not sitting down having those conversations about how do you feel today? Well, you know, what are you thinking? What's going on with you? If I'm not intentional about understanding and knowing what's going on with my mate, then guess what? I'm not in connection with him.
Right.
I'm not going to stay connected because the person who he was is now changing. And if I'm not getting to know him, then one day I'm going to look up and I'm not going to know him at all. And
exactly. That's when you start drifting,
that's where we get the
taking your marriage off cruise control.
no, when their children leave, empty nesters,
nesters,
right?
yeah.
That's where we get the empty nesters who say, wow, our kids left and we don't even know each
Right.
other.
Our relationship fell apart. No, your relationship was falling apart all along.
Because you changed. You put all of your energy and effort into your children, which is wonderful, but we have to put our kids where they belong, right?
Right.
So we can't make our kids more important than the relationship.
Right.
Because the marriage was there first, and then came the kids. The kids came out of love, right? So
So the marriage came first.
the marriage came first.
That's it, baby. The marriage came
Or
first.
you know what? Even if the marriage didn't come first, what I mean by marriage is that our commitment to each other came
Our
first.
commitment. I know.
So
Yeah,
that's what I
sometimes
mean.
the kids come first, but
Right. So what
Right.
I mean first is that
Right, it's
we had
God.
to be together in order for the kids to get there.
right. So it's God, marriage, and then the children. I got you.
So what we have to understand is that we can't make our mates feel less than when
Yep.
our attention, 150% of our attention is on our kids.
Yep.
Right? So there is time for the kids together and there's time for your mate. We have to make sure that we're understanding and we're paying attention to the person that we're married to. So what are some comments do you want me to?
Yeah, I got it
Okay.
right here. So Vicky says communication is the key. It is the key. Applied communication and effective communication. Because I know that I did a post this past week about communication. So a lot of people are saying we're good about saying communication is key. It is, but what happens after that?
No.
What do we mean after that?
So when
how
he's-
do we
right.
actually apply this communication?
Or we always say
because everybody communicates differently. Right?
Absolutely.
So me just saying communication is like, oh, okay, well, I just need to go up here and talk to my spouse and get it, and make it happen. Well, may not communicate like that. So you just have to find what style. So
it's
yes,
sort of like saying
communication-
ice cream is good, right?
Right.
But if we don't know what kind of ice cream,
Right.
then we can't say it's good. So
Right.
Vicky,
So it's styles, communication styles are key.
Yes.
And then you also have effective and
teaching people how to communicate effectively. Teaching people how to communicate is the game changer.
Yep.
So if communication is key, and there is a lack of communication, and not yours, Vicky, but just in general. So and our point in this is that oftentimes we hear people say, just like the date night, right?
Yeah.
Just like communication is key. Communication is key.
Yeah.
But if I don't know what that means, if I don't know how to make it key, if I don't know how to communicate, then you telling me that serves no purpose, because I think that I'm communicating, right? So it's not just, so getting us to understand that it's deeper than just the words. It's breaking it down to communication is key, but when I show you and and I'm helping you to communicate effectively where you and your mate are in alignment and you understand what the other person is saying, where there's no misunderstandings, then that's communication.
Yeah.
Right? Now that's a game changer. So instead of you saying, well, honey, you don't communicate with me, and if we don't communicate, communication is key, then we could forget our relationship. But the point is that show me. Tell me, how do I communicate effectively? Because if I can't, then nothing changes, right? So when we talk about communicating, understanding that if Jason has, again, we're going back to the dating your mate, right? Continually dating your mate. And if I'm trying to, and what is really key is one of the essence in how we communicate, right?
Yeah.
So if I come to Jason and I'm trying to communicate with him and I'm trying to stay in touch and stay connected because I feel like, we're drifting or whatever. So I want to be, make sure that I'm doing my part,
Right.
and I want to find out what's going on. I have to watch my tone. I have to watch my tone. I have to watch my pitch. I have to
just
watch
gonna
all
say.
those things, because
Tone, volume is important. It's going to help me to receive it better if it's a lower tone, and not so much intensity in the conversation. Like when you come at me and you all agree, not you per se, but if the
you're
other
talking
person
in a
is
way,
like super aggressive with their tone, then I may not hear it. So then it's just we're bickering back and forth. But we can say anything to one another. But if we lower the tone, I can hear you better. Or it's not so much emphasis on certain things, and cut out the sarcasmness, we can really get a lot of things accomplished.
Or if I want to really know how his day was, I want to ask him in a manner where I'm curious, right? I'm asking him with, loving connection, tone, watching it, right? I don't want to make it an interrogation. That's a difference.
Yeah.
So if my mate feels as though, or your mate, right, feels as though they're being interrogated, you're not going to get very much communication. So understanding how do we communicate? What is our body language? Because most of the times if I asked him, well, where have you been? How was your day? Well, who did you talk to? Those things make it sound as if I have a hidden agenda.
For sure.
Right? Instead of being able to get to a place where our communication, we're understanding how to talk to one another, where our tone is not misinterpreted because we understand how to communicate. So it doesn't sound like an interrogation, but a connection, right? So all of those things play a huge part in dating, right? You want to find out, what are they truly thinking? Because oftentimes in a relationship, we're not 100% honest with our feelings sometimes.
Right.
Whether it's male or female, depends on the person and their communication style, and depends on what happened before when they were honest. And it matters, like, well, why are they asking me this, right? So all of those things matter when we're dating, but dating is about, who am I married to now? Who is that person? Let me get to know them all over again, because think about when you first started dating and when you first started getting to know your partner on a more intimate level, on a deeper level. Think about the connection, the feelings, the love, all of those things, right? That all comes back again when you continue to date. That means that we're not losing our connection, but we're continually connected, because I'm constantly learning all the new things about you. If I think I know it all, then there's nothing I can learn, right? We know about know-it-alls. Know-it-alls are
But it's nice because in that way we don't have to fall off, right? We can always we're always in love with one another because we're always changing and we're always learning each other. So
Absolutely,
when we move to
absolutely.
that new phase, I mean the phase of kids, I mean that's a whole different story.
And if you don't communicate in that phase, and if you don't continue to date,
That's where
that
people
can definitely get
have
a
a
sticky,
lot of
or
problems.
even
Situations.
grown children, right? Or even if you go into marriages with blended families,
Yep.
if we're not dating that person and we're not taking the time to figure out how they're feeling, what their emotions are, what they're going through, and care. The thing is that we cared in the beginning, so we have to always care.
Right.
Right? We spent that time. Sometimes I would hope a lot of us, I know Jason and I did, we spent hours and hours and hours on the phone getting to know each other. And then when we were in person, we talked and talked and talked.
I know there's a lot of people going like, what? The phone? Yeah, that was before social media. So we actually had to talk to one another.
Right. So, where you had to be attached to that
Yeah.
outlet, to that wall jack.
Yeah, I was on hold. It's funny. I'm gonna tell this quick story. I was on hold. It was a long time. I mean, I was calling at night. I was calling technical support, and I was on hold forever. I mean, it just felt like forever. And I was like, man, this take me back to the days when we were dating. We were on the phone and we fall asleep on the phone, and then we wake up because it was just late at night.
And it was a long time.
And it was a long time. Yeah, but I hung in there.
Right.
I got my question answered.
So it's important to never, never, never stop dating. So that it not only
just dating, but effectively dating. Dating, I would like to say, with a purpose. Just not like we're not going out to say we're going out for the sake of going out because we never go out. Now we're out. We're intentional with being out. And then we're going to make sure that we're paying attention to one another. That's one, putting down the electronic devices and being present with your mate while you're there.
whether you go out or you stay in the house,
Well,
right? So
when
when
it's your
we're
time,
connecting,
it's your time.
when it's our time to date and to connect, then you have to get rid of all those outside distractions.
Yep.
It has to be about you and your mate, just like in the beginning. When you first start dating your mate, there's no way that you were going to be trying to talk to them and talk to everybody else at the same time.
Right. Now, we were too into
Excuse
each
me, I
other.
didn't mean to interrupt you. So
that's all right. No, we were too into each other. I mean, that's
Right.
the whole purpose of dating and getting to know each other. So as we go along in these relationships, right, we have to continually learn each other, continue to discover one another,
Yes.
and just get to know the person that you're with.
And sometimes it's hard, and you would think it wouldn't be, but sometimes it's harder to be vulnerable when you've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Because of past hurts, past instances, right? So it may have been a time where I was vulnerable and I shared something with my mate and it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, or it came back up later, right? There's a lot of different scenarios we can take this through. So sometimes being vulnerable with your mate is extremely hard because sometimes it's hard for us once we've been with someone and we don't know them. We're not continually connecting. It's hard for us to lay that out there. You would think that because you're married and you've been married for a while that it's easy. It's not. Sometimes it gets harder because of the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, right? The situations that we've had to overcome. Not putting yourself out there again for your feelings to get hurt. So understanding all these things in the process of dating is about, let's talk, let's learn each other, find out what I like, right? Find out what I don't like. Sometimes,
Like now, like in the present tense
Right.
now.
Yes.
Not what
Yes.
I used to like, but
So-
what I like now.
like I'll ask Jason, Jason, what brings you the greatest joy?
Yeah.
Right? What do you like now? What do you like to do? Because I know there was a time when we used to tear up the streets with our children in sports, and we don't have to do that anymore,
Yeah.
right? But I still love going to baseball games. So I would say, Jason, let's stop at a neighborhood baseball game, and he's like, why?
Our kid's not playing.
Exactly. He would say, our kids are not playing,
Yeah.
but I like to
I
see
did enjoy
kids
that.
in baseball.
I enjoyed
I
that.
love baseball, and that's not, if you're not a baseball mom, you definitely don't understand that because most people think baseball is very boring and
Yeah.
slow,
But
and
it's
it's
quite
not.
exciting.
It's not, right? And so there's things that I still enjoy to do just because our children are gone, but he would never know that if we don't discuss that. If we don't talk about, well, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? What have you changed into? Right? We would think that just because that part of our life is over, that wouldn't bring us joy anymore. But we have to. We have to continue to know and ask. We have to ask.
Don't we?
What does Vicky say?
Now that everyone has a cell phone, I'm at the airport. I look up, and nearly everyone is married and
To their cell phones. Say it again, Vicky.
The
Yes.
heads are down.
Yes.
People are walking into the streets, bumping into people, almost
All the
getting,
time. All the time. I'm like,
It's like they're mesmerized by this device. And
it's like it's taking our attention away.
Right.
And so again, very, very good point, Vicky, because that's in a marriage, that's what we become married to, right?
Yep.
So we come home, we get married to the television, we get married to our cell phones, we get married to our computers, we get married to all of these electronics
devices
that is supposed to make life easier and better.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it doing for the connection for you and your mate? Because if you and I are even sitting down watching a television show, right, that we may both enjoy, if we're not talking about it, if we're not spending time to really still get to know the person, we just watch it and get up and leave.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a very good point.
And it's funny. It's very, very comical, but it's not. When you actually step back and you look around and you see this happening, like in big places everywhere you go, and you look back and you say, man, everybody's on their phone. I notice it in the restaurants a lot. People heads down, couples at tables on their phones.
And
no
so-
conversation at all. No
And so
interaction.
that brings up a very good point, because let's just use that as a scenario right now, right? So
Yep.
you're married
That's
to
what-
your
like-
phone.
Like
right?
Vicky said, even on dates. Exactly.
Yes.
And I've experienced that many, many times in restaurants.
So let's look at this. Let's say we're married to our phone, right? So that's who we're married to. Has our 100% attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's going on, you and this phone is just you're locked. You have tunnel vision right on that phone, right? What if you put the phone aside, right? Right? What if you turned the phone off? Or what if you left the phone in the room?
Ooh.
Now you're disconnected, right? And the longer you leave the phone unattended, now it no longer has your attention. The longer you leave your phone in the room, or the longer you don't pick it up, or the longer you're not paying attention to it, the more disconnected you get. That's the same thing what happens in our relationship, right? So if we are putting our attention into our devices, what happened to where our attention was before? Where is that going to?
Something has to give.
Something has to give.
Right.
So if we want to have the same type of marriage that we've always had, which means that we want to be intentional in our marriage. It is, and I'm going to say this again, and I swear, it makes no sense to be married and be unhappy. The whole point is to find
Can
someone
you say that again for the people in the back?
The whole point is that we're finding someone who we want to spend the rest of our lives with, who we want to
Yes.
enjoy, who we want to enjoy us, who we want to share our happy moments with, who we want somebody to pick us up when we're down low, right? We want to be able to be fully, for them to have our full attention and for us to have their full attention. And if we're not doing it in our marriages, that means something and someone or something else is getting our attention. And we have to put that focus back into our marriages. And part of that is what we're talking about tonight, by you have to continually date your mate.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you did in the beginning. When you first start dating, go through those same steps. Find out what's going on with that person. Find out what they're thinking. Find out how they're feeling. Because if your mate comes in and they're feeling some type of way and you don't know it, how can you help, right? So those feelings that they're feeling, if you're not discussing them, they're not getting connected to you. They're just keeping them to themselves, right? So we have to understand the things that we're doing in marriage that do not make marriages last. And so if we're talking about communicating, how do we communicate? How do we communicate more effectively where we are staying connected? And that I know everything that's going on with you because I can feel your vibration, right? I can feel when things are off. And so that's what you want. You want to keep that connection just like you established it in the beginning. Don't let it die off. Don't let your attention from your mate go to your phone, go to your job, go to your education, go to your children. Marriage is it's like anything else. People say, oh, it's work. It's not work. It's intentional.
Right.
It's intentional. Just like you were when you started dating, you were intentional about making sure that you called, making sure that you saw them, making sure that you guys did things together. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Being in the same mindset. Understand what makes marriages last, the longevity of it, right? Not just the instant. So we get upset when we feel like the intimacy is dying out and we're not
And it
intimate
probably
anymore.
is because you're probably disconnected.
And it's going to.
Right.
If your attention is on something else, you're not even paying attention to the fact that your intimacy is dying down.
Yep.
Right? And then the problem is that then once it's gone, you don't know how to get it back. You're like,
Well, first of all, you didn't realize it was leaving.
right. And then
It was on his way out the door.
now
so-
you're craving the intimacy and you're putting it all on your partner, right?
Right.
You want your partner to be more intimate. But the
Right.
truth is that intimacy is shared between two people.
Right.
It's
What
been
are you
shared between
doing?
two people. So how can we get it back? Not just you, not just me, but how can we get it back? How can we keep it? How can we keep that spark where it doesn't matter what the storm is, the spark is still going to show up after all the rain is gone.
That's right.
Right?
That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, so here it is. We coming down to the end here, baby.
All right, coming down to the end.
So we talked about dating, being
Dating,
How
definitely
important
dating.
it is.
Yes, definitely.
how being intentional,
Yes,
putting down the electronic devices.
and you know what? Part of dating was being flirtatious with your mate. Sometimes you just need to be a little sexy, a little flirtatious, a little things that get their attention. They like, what's wrong with you?
Right. This,
what's
this
going on
is
with
out
you?
of the norm.
Right. Do something out of the norm and see if your mate notices. See, that lets you know that, hey, something's wrong. If I'm doing
It's
something
different. It may not
Yes.
be wrong, but it's different.
No, something's wrong. Something is wrong, meaning we're not connected. Because if I'm doing something that gets your attention, that means that I'm typically not getting your attention.
Okay.
That's
Yep,
what I
see
mean by
you're
that.
saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have to make sure that we're being that same beautiful person we were when we first got married.
So you can still do
Well,
life,
I wouldn't say the same,
Right.
but you're
as you
changing.
evolve,
Right.
You're still out there. You're not a shell
The
of
you,
yourself.
the you.
You're still out there.
you
you're
you
being
still
yourself.
realize what it takes to be in a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So I think, is there anything else we want to talk about? I know
No.
we have so many things to
I
talk
know
about.
it's a lot. It's a lot, but that's fun. I mean, that means we're doing something. We're moving in the right direction, and we're out here definitely trying to help people to have wonderful marriages, successful marriages, and strong marriages. That's what it's all about, right?
So if you find yourself stuck in your relationship and you feel like it's stagnant and you feel like the love has lost, there's hope. There's always hope. There's hope, right? So we are here not only, and how are we going to be divorce busters?
Okay.
That's like, so Jason and I, we're going to take on the role as divorce busters. And how are we going to do that? By also coming myth busters, right? Myths about marriage. What people have put into our heads as the norm. So we are going to help couples to bring their relationship back. We're going to help couples create and find new ways to rekindle all that love they had before, right? Feel alive, become closer, grow together, gain intimacy, have that respect that you had in the beginning, have that appreciation, have that adornment, right? And that's what we need to continue to have. And it starts off by us dating, right? Because that's how it all started in the beginning. We had to date each other. We had to get to know each other. So let's get back to getting to know each other. So this week, I want all of you guys on the views and the replays to do something different. Try to get to know your mate. Try to get to know your mate. So again, our program is out. It's called Elevate Your Marriage. It will be on our website. We have actually given it first round, given the opportunity for those who we have coached in the past to give them the opportunity to see if they want to do this particular program.
Yeah.
We have send it out to our partners. So now it should be on our website as
early next week. I
So,
would say
yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll have it out there on the website, and then we'll be taking calls and
to see if you are a fit.
Right. It's
So
it's not for everyone.
just
right?
like anything.
Right.
Just like
it's not
anything.
for everyone.
Right. So it's not just hey, I'm married. Right. So if two people have to be
In alignment.
and
Period.
we have to be moving in the same direction.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
help anyone to take relationship coaching if you really don't want it. if you have no intention of changing your marriage or changing yourself to be better for the marriage. So we do our initial thing is to take calls, and so to vet out those who really
Right.
are seeking and want their relationships to get taken off cruise control, because that's what happened. That is our motto, right? Take your relationship and your marriage off cruise control, and that's what we're doing. We also will have next week on our website a free ebook that talks about these things. And so our ebook is called, what is it called, Jay?
I'll tell you in a second, babe.
I got a lot of things in my mind.
Awaken the love and intimacy in your relationship. 8 simple ways to wake it up.
So we're going to have a free ebook, which means you can go to the website and download it, right? You have to put in your email to get it, but it's a free download, and it's an ebook, and you can read it and pass it on to your mate.
Right.
It has 8 simple ways, 8 just really little simple ways.
Really simple.
And
but really
dating is
not
the
that
first one,
simple.
right? 8 simple ways to wake it up, right? So it's awaken the love and intimacy, because it does fall asleep. It does fall asleep,
Yep.
right? If we're tired and we're disconnected, we fall asleep. So
Yeah.
we're going to have, you can download that free ebook, and it's going to give you 8 ways that you can start to incorporate things into your relationship that you may not be doing that can help you. And let us know if it actually helps your relationship, because these are some of the things
Well,
that
if
we
they
do.
use it,
If
if you actually apply the things that's in the book, it will help your
So,
marriage.
so let me say, I'm glad you said that, because let me
Mhm.
say this. Any tool that you have serves no purpose if you're not using it.
That's right.
If I'm sitting at my desk and I don't have a keyboard, it doesn't matter how much I focus. If I don't have the right tool to input the information, it's not going to help.
Right.
So the purpose of us giving the ebook is not only for you to read it, but to apply it to your relationship. Try it. Try it. All we're saying is have an open mind to say, let me try some of these things. Let me see if, because we get conditioned by our circumstances. We can get conditioned by the world. Yes, and so we think we know everything in a relationship, or we think that we know, what it takes to make your relationship better. Sometimes, trying new things will surprise you, because you're like, wow, I never thought of that before. So the whole point in our course or our program in this free ebook is to help take your marriage off of cruise control. I can't say that enough. It's so that we can stop living in the doldrum. Is doldrum? I believe that's what the word is.
Humdrum, doldrum. You know
The
that.
boring, stale
you know that
relationships.
state that you're in where you're not really happy.
Where it's like you love your mate, the relationship is okay, but
It's okay.
it's just okay. They are who they are. I am who I am. I do what I want to do. They do what they want to do.
Right.
But the whole point is, what's the point? Let's be happy. I told you guys, there's a difference between existing and living. So we want to live in our relationships, right? So take the ebook. Go get the free ebook on our website. I believe it's going to be on there Tuesday. So Tuesday, go to our website. Jason, are you going to give them the information where to go for the website? Are you going to put it up?
Sure. Yep.
I
LegendaryRelationship.com.
don't want you to say it.
LegendaryRelationship.com.
So our website is Legendary Relationship. Just one relationship, right? You're only in one relationship. LegendaryRelationship.com. And you will see it. It should pop up for your email to get the free download.
Yep.
Get the free download on, Awaken the love and intimacy in your relationship. 8 simple ways to wake it up.
Yep.
Try it. If everything doesn't work for you, then that's not something that worked for you.
Right.
But something may.
It's enough in there to get you on the right track, to open your eyes and to change the way you think, or maybe just give you a different type of vision in the direction that you're going. That's all. Sometimes we just need a vision. We need a roadmap. We just need to know something.
We just need a little help. Right?
Because a lot of this is we just done it on, we're just going at this direction. We're
just on cruise control.
Right. We're just driving.
Yep.
So-
We're just winging it.
Yep.
So most of marriages are winging it, and that's why Jason and I, we were very intentional in the beginning, right? We made sure we were in courses. We made sure we were reading relationship books. We were making sure that we read marriage books. We were making sure that we were at everything that the church had about relationships. We joined the Married Couples Club because we needed it.
Yeah.
We didn't think no, we didn't join it because we needed it, because our marriage was in jeopardy. We did it because we never wanted our marriage to be in jeopardy.
Right.
Okay. And so, not saying that we haven't had our trials and tribulations, because God knows we have.
But it has made it a lot manageable. I'll say that.
So
Listen,
our story is no different than
You need
any.
to be ready to deal with those situations when they come up, because they're coming up. So it just taught us how to interact with each other when those situations came up. That's
and
the
to
difference.
and to learn how to communicate
Yeah.
effectively, to learn what to do and not to do, to learn how to react and not react, to look at things from the other person's standpoint, right? Not to just blow off the handle.
Right.
So it has taught us so much, right? We have learned so much in that, and then becoming coaches was just a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And so we want you to go to our website. Just, can you bring it up again, please?
I sure can.
legendaryrelationship.com. As of Tuesday, well, Monday the program will be out, and Tuesday the ebook will be out. It is a free ebook.
Yep.
Download it, read it, share it, and apply it. It's no good to have tools if you're not using them, right? So it makes no sense to have a car sitting outside and you say, I need to get to the store. Well, if you have a car, drive it, right? So this is your vehicle. We're giving you vehicles to help in your marriage.
All right. So
And I hope I'm not talking too loud, because Jason
that's
says
okay.
sometimes I
Yeah,
do.
you do. You scream a lot, but that's okay.
I don't
You-
scream.
you
I just talk loud.
You do. You
No, I talk passionate,
passionate.
but not to you, right? No, sometimes
Yeah,
I
you do. You talk a little passionate, but that's okay. I'm used to it. I love it. I love it. It
So-
shows you care. That's what that does.
So
Our program again is
and that's
our
the thing.
program again is Elevate Your Marriage.
Transformational relationship literacy.
Yep, it's going to change the marriages. It's definitely going to help a lot of people out.
To help you take your marriage off cruise control.
Yeah.
To help you to understand what am I not doing, or what do I need to do more of, or how am I doing it how can I do it in a more effective way,
Right.
so that I can get back to having that same type of relationship that I had in the very beginning. Because God is love, right? We are love.
Talk to
so
me, Mom.
love is there. It is you. Hey, if you're not expressing it or experiencing it, you need to find out why. You need to find out why. So again, I can't tell you. We're going to continue to give you some of these ebooks and some tools and some exercises to help you guys move your marriage forward. So again, we are going to be myth busters about marriage and divorce busters, because there's no need for divorce, because we are on a mission to save marriages. And so to rewrite the narrative, right?
That's right.
Rewrite it. So we are now, if you don't know, tell everybody I'm married, I'm happily married, and marriages are on the rise.
Don't
Now,
forget to tell people to like it. You like it, you share it, and just let them know that, hey, this is where you're going to get some good information, right? This is valuable information. We're talking about transformation.
transformation.
We're transforming people. You're going to transform your life, your relationship, and yourself.
And
So
everything
this is
around
what it's-
you.
And everything,
Everything-
right.
and you're
Because-
gonna- I'm
because what-
sorry. Go ahead.
Because if you change, your world around you change.
You who?
Your world? Kind of like the ads?
Right.
Right. Your world around you change.
Right.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. We're making transformations in people, right? This is what we want. It's not about saying, okay, we're going to learn how to communicate. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's a lot more deeper than that.
So we are trying to help couples to understand that everything you desire in your marriage, you can have.
Yep.
If you can dream it, you can have it. All right. And so go get the free ebook on Tuesday. Check out our course that we're offering on Monday. If you're interested, there's a link to set up a time and a call with us before we take any clients. So we have to make sure that you are a fit for the program as we move forward, because we never want to waste your time or money, as well as our time, right? So time is the one thing that we cannot get back, and we have to make sure that we're spending it the way we want to spend it. We're spending time being happy. And so we're getting marriages back to that point of where they used to be.
Yep.
So we thank each and every one of you guys for listening. And even if we don't put it out there, we're here. We're going to be right here on Facebook and YouTube. And we're moving into Instagram. We'll let you know that soon.
It's just difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to make some changes.
So if anybody knows
live
anybody on
video.
Instagram, let them know.
Yep.
So we will be here every Friday, unless otherwise we tell you.
Yeah.
Sometimes situations come up.
And we've been tossing the ideal around to maybe move it from,
A Friday to maybe another day.
day of the
Yeah,
week.
day in the week.
We may end up playing around with it just to see how it works. This works for us sometimes because now we're starting to get out more and do things. So we may change it to another day, earlier in the day. We're not sure, but
We'll play around with the times, but we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But until then, we expect to see you guys every Friday right here at Legendary Relationship or Tina Scott, where we're doing our YouTube and our Facebook. All right? And we're talking about taking marriages off cruise control. Anything else you want to say, sweetheart?
That's it. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. We'll see you real soon.
What? But as always, remember, we're in it to win it.